So, what is your countrycore dream? Perhaps you dream of living in a large barn conversion, surrounded by acres and acres of rolling unspoilt land. Maybe there's a paddock for your horses and outbuildings just crying out for you to fulfill that aspirational business venture, allowing escapism from the dreaded rat race. Or maybe your dream is to while away the days in a small quintessentially English cottage with roses and wisteria rambling up the walls, a focus on self-sufficiency, and the beautiful sound of birdsong and peace and quiet. But is countrycore yearning just a matter of place and romanticism, or is countrycore something that naturally resides within us? Well, my countrycore dream was to live in a very rural location, off the beaten track in a picturesque cottage, just like Rosehill Cottage from the film The Holiday. My cottage would be full of characterful imperfections, with wonky floorboards, low wooden beams, and an inglenook fireplace, and an unfitted shabby chic kitchen, and of course, that amazing roll-top tubby tub bath. But unfortunately, even if I could have found a Rosehill cottage to fulfill my emotional dream, the chances are that it would have been far way above my means. So, after a reality check, 3 years ago we sidestepped to a tiny village within the East Midlands of England. Our 1940s built house resembled nothing of my dream schema. It needed a complete renovation and a good sprinkling of love. Also, although our village resides on the edge of civilization and wasn't my dream place out in the sticks, and our house is far from comparable with the romanticism of Rosehill Cottage, and is far from the prettiest house in our village, I've brought to fruition and fulfilled my yearning for a countrycore lifestyle. Well, if I haven't achieved my dream of a Rosehill cottage in the middle of nowhere, how has this happened, I hear you say? At Forever Our Home, I've had the luxury of time and reflection to find myself. I've stopped religiously watching Escape to the Country on the TV each day, having realised that as much as I identify as a woman, a mother, and a wife, being authentically countrycore is part of who I really am. It's resided within me from a very young age. As an adult, my countrycore mirrors my natural love of everything vintage, simple living and nature, transitioning into my love of cottagecore aesthetics and interior design. I've always embraced the slow living lifestyle, such as baking, sewing, quilting, listening to the church bells ringing every Wednesday evening, and decorating my home in a vintage cottagecore style at a fraction of the cost of new goods, a hobby that's better for my pocket and the environment too. Yes, I'm very fortunate to live in such a beautiful village setting, but this hasn't always been so. And because of this, I've learned that no matter the place and what you have or haven't got, country core living doesn't have to be all or nothing. Yes, having that dream residence really does help set the scene, but do you really need that barn conversion or the quintessential English cottage to start living the lifestyle you desire? If you have the passion and time to make time and a genuine countrycore nature, you too can start living your idyllic countrycore lifestyle anywhere too. If you saw my video last week, I'll link it up above. You'll already know that me and Carl are on a mission to create my dream craft room. Decorating in my countrycore style, I asked viewers last week if they had any ideas for my craft room. So I'd like to give a shout out to Christine for her suggestion of having candles and a kettle in my room. A kettle will definitely save my time from endless trips up and down the stairs to the kitchen and back. Tracy also came up with a great idea to have a pin board, which will be very handy. I'm going to have a look on Pinterest for some inspiration on how to make one. And Sophie has given me some wonderful insight into how she has designed and arranged her craft room, which sounds very professional, inspiring, and the perfect setup. Christine, Tracy, and Sophie, all your ideas are brilliant, and I'll be sure to implement them all. Thank you so much. This week, I decided to make a vegan raspberry Bakewell Tart. Although it's vegan, you can of course always use regular dairy products as a substitute for the vegan ingredients. This recipe is relatively simple to make, but a little time consuming with all the different processes required. But it's definitely worth the effort. I'll link the recipe below. Carl doesn't like Bakewell Tart, but he did eat 4 pieces. To be fair, it does say in the recipe that it's best eaten on the same day. It's now time to make the bunny dungarees / romper suit. This week I've completed making the bottoms to the outfit. I was a little apprehensive about using the Liberty scrap material that I'd made because I was aware that some of the fabric seams could potentially align with the pleats that I needed to sew into the waist. But luck was on my side and all was well. Thank goodness. Please see links for the bunny and romper suit patterns in the description below. I hope my video has inspired you to live your countrycore lifestyle. If you'd like to know more about my craft room design and plans, please click on the video above and hopefully I'll see you there.